Aloha! So I just wanted to do a video quick on being attractive in the counseling field in all different dimensions. My name is Angie DeLisi, and I am an author, and I am also a counselor. And what I've noticed in the counseling field is a lot of different aspects and a lot of different ways to connect with clients. And this video today is going to be on being attractive in the counseling field. Now, when you first meet a client, you want to give them full eye contact, a good handshake, a loving smile, and make them feel like they're supposed to be there. Welcome them, offer them a cup of coffee if you have that at your work establishment, and always just be very open. Try not to say anything disparaging or like no's. You want to mostly be positive and say yes or nothing at all. They're not going. When they're coming in, this is a new situation to them. They have never been here. They may be a little bit scared or shy, and so the warmer you can be, like a best friend, the better they're going to open up to you. And what you really want to be with them is open, positive, and curious about their life. How did they get here? What are they doing? What has their past month been like? Although you don't want to ask too many questions. Now, when you start doing an assessment of them to get to know them, you want to ask them, how they're doing. You want to ask them one question and then let them talk. For every question you ask, you want to let them answer more than one question. You're going to start hearing more about what they're having to say, and that's when you really want to listen. You want to listen to that because they're going to be telling you stuff that you actually need to know. You actually don't have to do very much work to figure out what is going on in their life. Of course, you want to touch on what is their most current problem, if they have any biomedical problems, what their emotional problems are, how ready they are to attack a problem, what their recovery environment is like, and also what kind of relationships they're having right now, and noticing where they're going to need support or referrals. And so being attractive in the counseling field, you want to be looking nice, of course. You want to be helpful. You want to answer what they need help with, not what you want answers for. You're going to find your answers as you find their answers. That is what you are there for. You are there because of them. They are your customer, they are your client, they are your business. So really, it's all about them. The customer is always right. Now, another aspect of being attractive in the counseling field is being hated by coworkers who you may, your shine possibly. I've learned doing your best and showing them your talents isn't always the best thing. There are many jealous coworkers in the counseling field, and I don't know if I've experienced this because of the way I look or because of my talents, but I know for sure, for a fact, that the way I am in my confidence damages people's ego. You'll see it come out in different comments they make, different looks you receive, the way they'll leave you out, and the way just the body language. So definitely trust that. I think the best bet is to stick to your job and try not to share any information. Now, if you're like me, you're going to want to share a lot of information. You're going to want to share resources. You're going to want to share all those things, but try not to. Try not to if you don't want to be an outcast in their eyes. This is really hard, and it makes no sense in the counseling field, and I wish it wasn't like that. I've been fired by 2 female bosses, and I've been looked down upon by several coworkers. However, never by the clients. The clients always have loved me because I basically give them open arms. I mean, I don't know how many assessments I don't hug them at the end and then tell them I'll see them. I believe in rapid resolution, finding those obstacles and making them look like they're normal problems. They're not a big hurdle. You can literally change in one day. And so when most counselors look at people, they don't see, unfortunately, they don't see their resilience, their strengths. And I don't know if that's just how they've grown up or if they have a hope deficit. I believe you're supposed to be a hope dealer when you're in a counseling field. You are such a big authority figure to them. And so you believing in them is going to cause them to believe in themselves. This is a self-fulfilling prophecy. You literally cannot speak any sort of word curses over these people. These people have had very, very tough lives. If they're coming to you, just make that a point. Like, okay, they're basically handing their authority over to me to try to help them. That's going to tell you one thing, okay? So these are desperate individuals. They don't need any sort of judgment, things they're not doing right. You want to build on their strengths. This is how you become an attractive counselor. This is why most of my clients have wanted me to be their counselor, because I literally believe in them when they can't see it in themselves. And I point out things to them later on, like when you first came here, you can say this stuff later on as you build rapport with them, but you can just be like, when you came here, you were, you were sad. You were in your chair with a blanket. You couldn't even look me in the eye. And now you're looking me in the eye. You got a job. You did this, you did that. Point out all these little things that they don't see, or maybe they haven't seen, the little details that you can remember and touch upon about what they're doing in their lives and how far they've come. And even when you hear their life story of, how they've been hurt when they were little, the bad relationships they've been in, you want to give them strength for every little baby step forward. Like, you came in here today, you're going to survive this. This is nothing. These are normal everyday problems. Look at it like that, because then they're not going to put their problem on a pedestal. If you just let them know these are everyday problems, your life is going to be completely changed in 2 months, from what it was 2 months ago, and look back a year and then look now. I mean, remind them of how seasons change, how things change, how people change. Give them personal examples of how you've changed, personal examples of what you've seen. Just, if you need to hang up a sign on your wall to look behind them of hope, that's definitely what you want to encapsulate hope. You want to encapsulate their strengths. You do not want to encapsulate, what has been wrong. You want to listen to that and reflect that, like, what you're doing really isn't working for you. Like, the payoff isn't working anymore. You can say stuff like that, like whatever they say. Like, if they say, I've been in a bad relationship, I've been lied to, and I still take them back. You can say something like, you want to give an honest reflection of, like, you have been so unhappy in this relationship, and it seems like you're seeking support now, and you're finding a way out. Something to that effect. Everything they give you, you want to give them a reflection. You want to give them a mirror, not a mean mirror. Like, oh, wow, how stupid have you been being in these relationships? Now, to that point, if you have strong rapport with someone, you can, and that your fun with them is going to make them laugh, and you're able to do that as a person, you can do honest reflections like that. I once had a client who did that to me, and she was fucking hilarious. I was actually I was a cosmetologist then, and I was doing her hair, and I said, I've been in these relationships that have been bad, and I don't know why I go to these relationships. I really like this guy. We get each other on a certain level, but then, I've been in bad relationships, so I know how it feels. I've been through all the things. I've been through so many things that I think that makes me a natural counselor with people, because I've been through so much, so nothing surprises me. I know you can walk out of any situation with maybe exercise, nutrition, and Jesus, literally like Bible reading, meditations, affirmations, just doing kind things for yourself, getting nails done, talking to a friend, finding one person to reach out to for 5 minutes a day. I mean, it can literally be a life changer. A lot of these people isolate and It'll feel so tumultuous until they can just get it out with you, and then you literally see a rainbow in their life, and it's like they're better for it. Anyway, this woman, I was in a bad relationship, and she could say this to me. I did her hair over and over. She gave me big tips. We definitely had a rapport. I don't know how much counseling I did in cosmetology, but then I went into counseling after my wrist kind of gave up from doing so much hair, and I was an esthetician too. Always, I did the greatest facials. Let me tell you, I kind of want to go back to it or open a salon, but that's neither here nor there. So this woman, I told her, why am I doing this? And she goes, do you really want to know? And I said, yes, please tell me. She's like, no, do you really want to know? And I said, yes. And she said, okay, I'm going to tell you. You're a dumb bitch. It was so funny and so honest. Like, I was being dumb, like, don't say this to a new client. You can't joke around with a new client. You'll know when there's back and forth, and you can play, and you're going to give them all the love in the world. And it's your play is going to be with love, like, you want to meet them on their level. If they swear, you want to swear a little bit. If they share really personal things, share a personal thing. They say don't share your personal life, but if it's relevant and it happened in the past and you can own it. You can own it, own it. Oh, when you can own stuff and they can see that you're human, you are going to build so much rapport with these people. Don't lie to them ever. Never lie to them. If they want an honest answer, give them an honest answer in the most caring and compassionate way you can to them. I never ever had problems with clients in the field. Never had problems with clients. Always had problems with staff. After I'd get really great reviews and be promoted, all of a sudden something would happen. Also, if you're a counselor, don't think that you can show yourself once you feel like there's trust built. I have made this mistake time and time again. You get to know your coworkers, you start to be kind of good friends with them, although you feel a little bit of maybe jealousy. When you feel that, don't be like me. You have got to protect yourself. They are going to be, if you show too much confidence around people and have too much to say, as good as the things that you are saying, and maybe like the top person will see it, but you won't see them very much, and they'll love you for it. Your coworkers are going to see that, and they're going to fucking hate you for it. They're going to hate you for it, especially if you notice any little bit of bad self-esteem in them. Don't try to help them. They're going to take this as a threat. They're going to take this as they're going to wonder why you're so confident, why you're so happy, because you're able to self-motivate, because you're able to see your flaws, because you've been through hell and back and know what's real. These are the things that good counselors will have to go through to make themselves, or attractive counselors, attractive. People don't like attractive people unless they're very attractive and confident in their own skin. And can grow from it and don't see you as a threat. There are some people who can do that, but a lot of people, like, if they don't dress as nice as you, if they don't do their hair, if you notice they don't shower before work, that's a big one. If you notice people who don't shower before work, and they might smile and be cool with you for a while, but sooner or later something is going to come out, and they are going to, if you're too happy. And this is so sad. It's so sad. But literally, if this does happen to you, this is only going to make you stronger and push you into a better job. And the work that God has me do, I'll be in a place for 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, really not beyond that. I worked at BB actually for 6 years and I didn't have a problem. That was retail. My bosses were awesome. We were all there to have fun and pretty much party and help the clients with clothes. It was just so fun. That was the longest job I've ever had, and it was a commission job, and so we literally made 6% commission. I made so much money because I'd have $1,000 sales constantly. Like, I still have friends from there, and I know people in the malls and stuff, but otherwise the longest job I've ever had in the counseling field was 3 years. And And even I got let go from that job, but we were such like family. I'm not sure why. I think because my mom was having problems and I was only a part-time worker. But, I found a way to really make a life for myself. And so I look like I had more than I had because I bought a house, I sold the house, I had a roommate, so I didn't have to work full time. I worked part time. Because working full time with a small child, it wasn't good for my mental health, so I decided we'll get a roommate in my downstairs. And and so like when you have it like that, most of like my counselor friends didn't have, a couple of them had homes, some of them didn't, but some of them had bad relationships or maybe they didn't feel good in their body. You could just tell. You could tell by the anger on their faces and staffing if you were happy, how they would not like it. And it really sucks that you can't just show up as yourself and be authentic and happy and generous and kind and funny, or not take things so seriously. So you do have to be careful with that if you're an attractive woman with maybe coworkers who are a little bit heavier set or don't get ready. Honestly, these people could do all the things that I did. They could put eyeliner on, they could, put a new outfit on, they could shower before work. But sometimes people are just in that state of anxiety or depression or what have you, and they're not open to you as a fellow person who could help you because you have it better than them, or at least they perceive you having it better than them. You might not have it better than them, you just might be grateful and thankful. So those are my things for being attractive in the counseling field. Be warm, be extra, be giving, be loving. Hug your client if they're open to it and they deserve a hug because they just told you stuff. Tell them to be very careful with themselves for the amount that they just shared with you, and tell them that that's a huge thing, and to forget about it at night. And just like, don't feel like they told too much. Don't feel like tell them to accept themselves fully. Tell them to accept themselves fully after you do an assessment on them, because they are going through childhood trauma. They're sharing abuse history with you. They are sharing things they felt guilty about, things they've done. Their action, and praise them for their confession. Praise them, say, you confessed a lot today, and tell them God's gonna bless you for it. People need to hear hopeful things when they are coming in to share and bear their life with you. Anyway, this is my video on how to be an attractive counselor, and also warnings for being an attractive counselor. You definitely want to stay true to yourself. If you get pushed out, it's okay. You'll get another job or you'll get unemployment. It's kind of annoying when you thought you built rapport and all of a sudden, like, you can tell people were in on it. Or anyway, it's a dog world, whatever. But it's also a really good world, and if you're pushed out, it's okay. There's a million more jobs. You're super attractive. You can get that job. You get another job right away, so don't take it too personal. After my first firing, I was just like, okay, we're going to Valley Fair for the whole, 6 months. Thanks for paying me. We'll be at the beach. You can do my groups that you promoted me for, and the clients love me. And I ran the whole outpatient program, but okay, and then they couldn't find anybody. And then people were actually leaving. I found out about from an inside person, probably due to the nature of the counselors who are still there. And also, when you do get let go from a job and you have a couple months off to collect yourself, you'll be doing so much research during that time, and also you'll get paid more. So the counselors who are in that field, they have to earn their little, 3 to 5% raises every year, where if you are gone for a couple months, the pay increases. And so you'll basically, when I went back to work, 4 months later, after I collected unemployment for 4 months, usually unemployment 6 months, but I get a little bored after a few months, so I'll look out for a job again. I literally got a $10,000 raise, And so it was like, if you get fired or something, it might feel a little hurtful at the time, and you can, cry or journal your feelings, or, say what happened to you. I highly recommend you say what happened to you to get it all out so it doesn't fester. Maybe do a video and look back at yourself, or do a journal of what really happened. Write all the things down that you remember. Get those things out on paper so you can see really what it was, because a lot of times when you're fired, they'll gaslight you. And if you are gaslit, it's going to turn your brain into mush, because you're going to have this it's going to feel discontented in your body. You're not going to have the correct information, and if you don't trust yourself, you're going to half believe it, and so there's going to be dissonance. Well, what dissonance does to your brain, and you're going to want to talk to your clients about this too, it is, trusting your gut, trusting yourself, trusting what really happened, and knowing, it's just, you're not right for this job, you're not right for these people, they can't line up with you, they can't line up with your shine. You crack their egos every time because you're authentic and genuine, and they feel some sort of way and can't be open and accept themselves fully. So or whatever, and so when you have dissonance, it's good to write it down, because then you have your own personal truth on paper, and I can do way better. That's crap, and I'm moving on. And don't look back, just keep moving and be like, I'm so glad, bye. Know that you were an asset to that program while you were there. You did the work that God had you do while you were there. Maybe you were supposed to meet some people. I've met people who people talk about me. I'm like a legend in the counseling field, and I know clients have talked about me and have said, because I've heard them, people have told me, oh, I've heard about you. You're Angie. I heard your groups were amazing. Yeah, my groups are amazing. You know why? Because I'm open and honest, and I'll give you an honest reflection of yourself with love and non-judgment, because I've been there. And so these are how to be attractive in the counseling field. Love your clients because they didn't have it, And also, if you got this far, if you want to really learn about people and get deep with them, watch Soft White Underbelly. That is such a good YouTube. I used to watch that in group, because when people are able to reflect and you're able to get people's real authentic selves out of yourself in groups, and this is why my groups are so profound, is because I know how to get information out of people, because I'm open. That is going to help other people to see themselves in other people, and that's a working group. That's how you get people to see other people true selves, and they're able to come out and be their true selves, and you can really see the courage rise up in them, and the authenticity rise up in them, and the vulnerability and the compassion for themselves, because they'll see it in someone else, and they'll start to see it towards them, and they'll start to see, hey, I do deserve it. I am important. I'm an important person. I do deserve this. And it goes from there, and it's that I love this work. And so that's how to be attractive in the counseling field to your clients. And you don't want to be too attractive to your coworkers unless you know them really well, and it's a well-oiled machine. But things happen, and it's okay. It's okay when bad things happen. When bad things happen to you in the counseling field, that is strength training. That took me a long time to learn, but that's honestly strength training. It gets you more grounded in who you are as a person. It helps you to help your clients because you're stronger. And when they see a strong person, you rub off on them. You rub off on people. Even the people who hated you, they're remembering things about you, and they learn, and they're going to remember something from you, and they're going to be stronger for it in the future, and maybe more compassionate. Anyway, I hope you have a beautiful day. You are beautiful. You are worth so much. Don't believe any bullshit from the enemy or Satan. You're a strong individual, and you can do anything you put your mind to. And also be careful about your words. Your words are how you create your vibration in life, good or bad. So only speak life and blessings over yourself. Don't speak word curses for you or anybody else, because it's going to affect you. Anyway, God bless you. I love you. Jesus loves you. Don't let anybody ever make you double think what you already know. Trust yourself. Have a good day. I'll see you tomorrow.